I think, yeah, Slacks is kind of the player that I'm looking towards this season to see how he performs on this lineup.
All right, well, speaking of AWPers, we do have a nice match of train for you guys. Double AWP set up for Wisla. We'll see if your boy Shake is able to pick it up a bit for Fate, because they're definitely going to need it. Backs against the wall in this series. Your casters are Dean and Wolfie. Take it away, boys.
Yeah, you've got it absolutely right. Backs against the wall. And I mean, when we were spouting Lyrical before this game came up, we were talking about this double AWP setup and how lethal it could be for Wisla. They've got the perfect map to prove it. Unfortunately for them, starting on the T side, at least initially, and Rocking getting aggressive early on, trying to take the fight in towards the brown halls. And that's a lovely one tap to open things up. Ponchek goes down. How do Wisla look to recover off the back of it? Still a decent amount of utility to play with, but this take could be very nasty indeed.
Yeah, it could be. Is Shake AFK? No, I'm confused. There's just an extra player on the radar. Never mind. I was like, hang on, how have we've got two Shakes. He's in the spawn watching a flank around as well as watching from the connector. No, yeah, they have a decent setup over on B at the moment. It is more so just to try and keep this advantage that they already have. Maybe catch another kill on top of it. And yeah, there you go. Shake has gone ahead and delivered it. Now they've got a 5-on-3. They do have a kit in this pistol round as well as a smoke. And they might not even have to deal with the bomb plant. Well, they will definitely at this point, but it was looking like the kills were maybe just going to all come true. Either way, a 4-on-2. There is a little bit of a snatch from Sparrow there on that P250, but they need a big play right now in order to recover the situation, and it is not looking like it's going to happen. Sparrow on 1 health. Surely nothing to be done at this point. They're already hopping on that bomb, I believe. Yeah, indeed. Patrick with the kit is going to get the defuse in, and no more kills even going to be allowed for Sparrow as Fate pick up a pistol round. That is something they failed to do on Inferno. This could be the start of a turnaround now, Wolfie.
Yeah, I mean, Wisla, they had the right idea, right? But Shake there, Rocking with the early aggression, just finding a couple of initial picks really tore this retake to bits. It just made it all too easy for Fate to get back into that bomb site. And Sparrow, you could see the idea, right? Utility blocks off the early cross, get that bomb down, get some aggression from those Glocks as well, get up and in your faces, and they just failed to do that on Wisla. So an early opening for Fate, early pistol round going their way, very much wasn't the case on Inferno. See if they can find a conversion. Tags traded. Nikki does take the scout bullet. And with 2 AKs over on this T side, potentially something they're going to look to exploit, that early damage, even the deagles. The tag of the scout will be a one-shot towards the chest as Wisla just slowing things up, looking for some early Ivy aggression. That Molotov a little awkward. I think it was meant to go a lot deeper than that, so it will stall the attack for a little while. Fate, at least for now, remain as a full 5-man. Nice setup from Patrick and Nikki to potentially swing into this Ivy position. And Wisla, they need some frags. Sparrow finds one from the scout, and there's the second. Jedka, a huge headshot with the deagle, recovers himself. The FAMAS, and this is falling apart. Hades on the site, and it's all on Shake. He's got to get so much done, and it's 2 quick scout headshots. He's keeping his team alive here, make it a third, and Sparrow, he's only got 31 HP to work with in this 1v2. This should have been a done round, and instead, it's all onto that scout.
Whew. That's how you shake things up, I suppose. As well, yeah, Sparrow, he needs a bigger play with the scout as well. He's actually gone ahead and hit the first headshot. Shake is low. They both are. They don't even need the headshots, but that's all we've gotten so far on these scouts. What has this round come down to? Attempted even no scopes. Balls of steel right now on Shake. And, well, Sparrow, he's actually going to come right back in. Wants to take the fight. Obviously, the bomb is down in behind Shake right now, so it's pretty much the kill that's needed. And he finds it with the no-scope around the smoke. What the hell was that round? First of all, just incredible entries from Wisla coming in. It looked like all hope was pretty much lost before this 3K then comes in. All headshots. But then we see a step up on the other side from Sparrow coming through with an insane scout play of his own. If this is what we're getting in this game, then I'm excited.
It's already so much more hype, isn't it? Wisla, again, just that individual skill to initially take it away from Fate, but we saw a bit of
Shake
fight.
On another scout. Sorry, I had to say it.
Oh, no. Don't say it. Don't make it. Don't believe it into existence. Rocking again, aggressive in towards these brown halls. Couple of rifles this time to face him. He had a free shot, and he can't quite land it. Rocking goes down. That could have been it. 2 quick 1Ds there, and this round is suddenly in Fate's hands, but a missed shot. And that may well prove critical. Wisla will slow things right down. They are looking, at least for now, like they're going to walk into this A stack. You wonder if Goofy on that Mac 10 potentially starts to smell a rat as Patrick He's going to look for a timing through this smoke. Fate, they need a way back into this round sooner rather than later. But with Hades here dodging the flashbang, traded 1 for 1, that should be all the information the T side need.
Oh, Shaky. I was gonna say trapped in on the bomb site, but he does get a bit of help from Patrick, and well, might have the shot. No, not quite connecting on towards the player up on top of blue, but he's got the help again. I was gonna say Patrick there to assist, but no, not quite able to do the damage that I initially thought he would have from the back lines. And at that point, yeah, Shake just couldn't do anything. Trapped in at the brown train. I think they were dropping mollies in on him, even just flushed him out into the open. And yeah, that's going to be Wisla who are able to overcome the force by this time. It still comes down to a pretty close position, so I'm glad we're seeing a fight at the very least being put up by Fate. But still, it is rough for them now to kind of come out on the losing side of that initial back and forth in the early rounds. To have won their first pistol as well, something that they weren't able to do on the previous map, and then obviously to have such a great play then from Shake and to still manage to lose that round, it has got to be heartbreaking. But here we go, rushing on towards A is the plan for Wisla. They're running into a stack, so I had some hope that we could have Fate putting up a few kills, but it is only Rockin who's able to deliver the one. Goofy was brought low, but yeah, not able to get the finish there. So 3-1, pretty standard here on the start. And now we're coming towards that first gun round. This is where we really find out how this game is going to go. Shake's got the op, but it is glass cannon, which kind of sucks. No nades. He had literally just the exact amount to get that gun out.
It's not a good look, is it? And Wisla, economy management in the previous, the player who went down swaps the MAC-10 for the fallen AK-47. Make sure you keep 4 rifles up. So Wisla putting themselves in a really strong position here early on, and it is the T side of Train. As much as the T side has received somewhat of a buff of late, it still is an incredibly difficult side to get into at times. So an early 3-1 start, pressure onto Fate on their CT side initially is huge for Wisla, and now just starting to chip away at a couple of players. Rocking and Milky taking an early lick of damage through the wall bangs as Wisla, well, they're going back to their pistol round strat here. 4 players queued up in towards those brown halls. Pop flashes to clear the upper region. Just waiting for that smoke to fade. Still plenty of utility available. Still execute options towards either side. But if they go into B now, it's Rocking cutting a very isolated figure. Here we go. Rotation does start to come through from Shake. And Rocking knows he's got to be the playmaker here. Aggression, but it's not going to land. Hades hits the shot. And Shake, well, he's completely smoked out of his initial peaks. They spot him out as he tries to jump peek in towards Connector. And a free bomb plant. I mean, do you even go for this retake? They're starting to trade things out already. But with Shake on just 2 HP, surely the AWP's time is very, very short.
Yeah, I didn't even think he was going to be allowed to get that far back. Okay, he manages to run back in towards Goofy, and yeah, didn't have his teammate quite ready either for the trade as Goofy comes out on top of another exchange, and well, denies any weapons from even being saved over. Nicky's moving around. Maybe hoping that he could retrieve the op. There's no way that's going to be allowed, though. Oh, maybe. Hang on. He got the first kill. It was the shot, of course, being missed by Goofy then. At that point, though, he just doesn't stick around and doesn't give a chance for the op to be taken back. Leave him with the FAMAS, or, well, now an AK in his hands. And even then, that's not confirmed because he is being flanked out by Sparrow and doesn't seem to be too cautious. So, yeah, taken down with only a couple of seconds left to go. Not a single weapon carried over for Fate, and at most, I would imagine a few pistols to be upgraded. Obviously, coming towards the full loss bonus in this next round, so they can spend a decent amount, get some pistols, maybe even some Kevlar behind it, a few nades to try and make it a dangerous one at the very least, try and do some damage to Wisla. But again, we are just not getting anything going for Fate. What I was trying to say after the first map ended was that it seems like it's going to be tough for Fate to stay motivated, just with how rough it's been for them since actually getting this lineup together. Obviously, I was failing to find the words earlier on, rather. But yeah, again, just how can you feel confident when you're having such a tough time like this in every single game, basically?
It's a
It's
really
the slow
difficult
starts,
one.
especially.
It's so awkward. I mean, at least they've got the experience there, right? They've got a lot of players who've been around CS a good while to potentially pick them up and try and make something of it. But again, I mean, Wisla have just walked through this stack while we've been chatting. There was 4 players on this A-bomb site, and they've got through it with just the 1 casualty. Sparrow goes down, but that's not even of consequence for Wisla. That financial situation is looking so strong now, and Rocking, well, he's just hoping somebody walks into his crosshairs, right? Someone goes through that connector region, gives him a freebie on the 5-7. He can go and stealth away an AK-47 to a quiet corner of the map, but it's not going to be the case. It will be a 5th round on this T side. I mean, I don't know about you, Dean, but immediately I'm saying this half is done for Wisla. Anything from here on out really feels like a bonus as Goofy just cleans things up. 5 rounds, perfectly viable T side, and they've managed to get it inside of 6.
Uh, I mean, I would say normally 5 rounds on a T side, you're like, yeah, that's a fine half. But obviously, if it goes from a position where you're 5-1 to 10-5, then I think it's a
Yeah.
bit of a different story. So, I mean, yeah, we need Faith to pick things up. I don't think Visley would be too happy if they let everything go. So they'd want to grind out at least probably 1 or 2 more rounds on top of it. But obviously, at this point, they're aiming for a lot more because it has been going so damn incredibly well. So yeah, the hope for Visley is that they can keep up this momentum and well, just head straight towards that 2-0 that we were all predicting pretty much on the desk beforehand. Oh, nice molly. Forcing Milky back just a little bit. They know of his presence now around that area. And, well, Rockin, he's been loving this upper aggression. Will it work out for him? Not quite. Was playing for the info. Didn't even spot the player, though, because of the smoke that was down. And ends up just taking a lot of damage, which seems to have prompted Vizsla to make the call now to bring this towards B.
Like the early rotation, Shake has made his way around on the AWP, so the lower angle will be held for now. Last time this wasn't smoked by Wisla. Potentially he can look to exploit it. Upper smoke comes out, blocking, looking for the spam through, but it's not landing, and there's so much damage, but just no conversion. Whistler's managed to take out his opposing AWPer in the meanwhile. Hades getting the better of Shake in that duel. And once again, Fate, there's just nothing they can do about this round. You have to find a 1-for-1 trade on each of those B site players for there to even be a chance of getting back into that bomb site. They'll at least manage to save. I don't blame Wisla if they go for a little bit of a hunt as well. I mean, you look at the finances, right? You've got 9 grand on Goofy, 8 grand on Jedka. They could potentially go and try and isolate some of these fights, and you can see they are starting to swarm their way over that A bomb site on the mini map, trying to clear out the early angles at the very least. Fate should be safe, I'd imagine. They're very tucked in, deep towards Ivy. Playing an off angle is Patrick as well. Might even get the chance here. Goofy is just going to shift walk his way up Ivy, but he wins the fight straight up.
Damn.
Goofy just making it so tough for Fate to get anything going. We do see the first pause of the game being called, and you've got to say, I mean, in my mind, it should have come in sooner because this already is looking pretty damn brutal.
Yeah, no, I wouldn't have even minded a pause before that first gun round, just knowing how important it was, especially considering that they'd come off the back of winning the pistol and then losing to the force by. I think trying to compose yourself before that first gun round could have been a good call. But I mean, better late than never, right? Have a bit of a chat, see if you can turn things around at this point. Again, you don't really have anyone going. Shake, he had that round with the scout, but obviously they weren't able to capitalize on that. They weren't able to convert it into the win. And since then, it's been pretty quiet from everyone, really. We've had a couple of exit frags, really, from Rock, and I think when they ran in towards that stack, he was able to get one USB kill, for example. So on the gun round there, at least we had no one going. It's going to have to be the next one where they all wake up, and it's not in this round. That is one thing we need to stress, because that means very likely it is going to be 7 over to Vizsla before the guns are going. And yeah, it's at that point it is just a ridiculous half for Vizsla, one that they could be happy with, even if they manage to lose the remaining rounds, which, let's be real, isn't looking too likely. They're probably going to keep on adding to this number for a while. It's all about Fate salvaging as many of them as they can, really. Oh, the drop is perfect. The second he takes out the smoke, the timing for Yedker gets straight out of there as well, being like, yeah, got a man advantage. I'm completely happy with that. Let's just make sure now we turn this into the round win. And that was one of the rifles as well.
Just going from bad to worse, isn't it? The Molotov to follow up. You could see on the minimap, Shake was just starting to poke his way in towards Ivy, hoping he could maybe find one of those rifles, but completely denied. A perfect flash in. It's so disgustingly good from Wisla. Clean Counter-Strike, so efficient to get those 2 early openings. And now, I mean, once again, realistically, you're probably looking at the save, right? Shake's managed to get his hands on that drop them 4. Nicky's still holding on to his from the previous. And honestly, it looks like the CT side already starting to think about it. This is where they looked to save last time. They're queuing up towards Ivy. Nice spot flash in, but Hades will find the first. At least the trade does come through. Patrick, clean shot on the Deagle. And with 28 seconds left, Wisla starting to cut this a little fine. Shake will drop that bomb down, jumps up onto the blue train, but he's all alone now. 1v3 with 20 seconds left. He's trying to stay alive in the sandwich, but there's just too many players. Some damage on the scoreboard, sure, for Fate, but not quite able to find any more than that. Just a couple of frags. And I mean, how soon do we start calling it? This buy round has to go well for Fate.
Well, that's the thing with CS. You can never really call it until one of those teams is his 16, or, well, I guess that's not the case if it goes to an overtime even, but until one team has actually got the victory. That's the thing that's different with CS. The comeback is always possible, even when it's not really possible, if you know what I mean. But yeah, I don't think we're out there. I don't think we're at that point quite yet. Faith, if they can pull it back up to 6 rounds here on the CT side, manage to get a good start on the second half as well, then there's nothing to say that they themselves can't have a very impressive T side showing. But it needs to be turned around now to some extent at the very least. Oh, and we are seeing again the attempted aggression. It was actually shake up towards B. I was going to say we're also seeing them trying to push towards main, and they've been punished on both of those fronts. It is at least a trade from Rockin, but it's not enough. They're down into the 4-on-3, and they've lost a very important player in the form of Shake very early on. Oh, as Goofy just creeped into the back lines, he has. B-hop straight through, doesn't care. And they've left the upper to hold for the peak afterwards. Sparrow does hit the shot. He even takes the head just to be sure. Goofy has been taken down in the meantime, but he was just being such a nuisance, and they've been allowed to creep punch check out onto B because of that.
There's some really funky timings going on now. Oncheck's actually looping round through connector. Milky has pushed up through Hop and is
They're just
starting
having
to
fun
clear
with it.
B. This is complete chaos. I think Milky has actually decided that the B-bomb site isn't occupied at the moment, so with 35 seconds left, he's going to make his rotation back down in. Sparrow might not be expecting this close angle. Fate looking to make something of this, but oh, the flank so perfectly timed from Ponchek, and Milky needs a big round here. Spray down for the first, but that's all he's going to get. The second man just eluding his bullets, and it's Ponchek to dial it in. That flank was so critical for Wisla. For a split second, it looked like it could have fallen apart at the seams. If Milky swings just a split second earlier, catches Ponchek looking at his teammate, maybe that round comes through. But instead, it's the guaranteed lead at the half for Wisla. And once again, Fate looking in very dire straits. They've managed to get a scout out onto Nikki. There's some Deagles and MP9, but the buys, they just keep on coming for Wisla.
Sorry, my dog was being a little bit loud there, trying to get it to calm down. Oh, Patrick has suddenly gotten himself 2 kills from Sandwich on the Deagle. He hasn't been able to retrieve one of the weapons yet, but a little bit of info there as he confirms the position of Hades. And importantly, they have the bomb fully under their control and a smoke that's going to keep these players at bay now for another couple of seconds. Oh, they're actually trying to flank Rockin around. That could be risky. If it takes a few seconds and if Vizsla were to start realizing, okay, we could be getting flanked, it would be a potential opening back in with the punish. But yeah, Rockin makes the correct decision. He's just going to hang out. He's going to wait for some actual plays to be made and to confirm that they are moving out. Milky tucked in up close on the MP9. I like this setup, though. Patrick's ready to swing immediately from Brown Train once Milky gets that contact, and hopefully at that point probably trade.
Oof.
No, not quite able to do so. Hades gets back into cover. Now he's posted up, but the timing, just as he unscopes, Patrick pops out and takes a headshot. And, well, now it's Goofy left on low health. There wasn't much to be done as the flank eventually comes through. Rockin, he was incredibly patient, and it does pay off. A second round for Faith. That was between 8 rounds for Vizsla. Remember, they won the pistol. Lost 8 rounds in a row. Now they've fired back with 1, but it was a close one. Only 2 players surviving as well, so it doesn't give them, really any economy to work with, but also potentially it leaves them with some weaknesses in this buy. We'll have to wait and see exactly if it's going to be much, or if it'll maybe just be a few nades or whatever.
It's something, at least. That round should have been another slam dunk for Wisla. It was the full buy coming up against a scramble, some armor, some pistols, a scout, an MP9. It wasn't meant to be a buy that worked, but I think Wisla perhaps just getting a little bit complacent. 8 rounds on the trot, they go straight into that A-bomb site with no clearance, no information, no gathering like they've done in the previous rounds, right? No sitting back, waiting for the aggression and then punishing. They just go straight in. They fly in with the full nades, and Patrick able to show up in a big way with the Deagle, makes the round stick for Fate. They need a few more of those, though. They're going to start being seriously competitive in this first half, already with the lead. Looking to continue that ascendancy as once more Ponchek taking this early Brown Hall's control. There is a tag onto Sparrow, though. Not going to be allowed to make his way out through Olaf, and Hades will be forced back with the flash. This is more like it from Fate, looking to be proactive, and they're looking to get all the way into main.
Oh, but it's not enough. It doesn't matter. Yedgar just drops down Pop Dog, takes both of those players up close on Pop, caught the player moving in towards main, and just decimates whatever plan Fate had in mind. As you said, they clearly wanted to try and swap things up after the pause. The aggression is what they were looking for, and it's been completely denied. They've still got 3 players around this bomb site, though, to be fair, but it's just not working. Another entry even for Yedgar as he takes out Shake, and now it's all on Patrick. He's hoping to make this happen. He knows he needs a lot more. He's waiting for them to show themselves, and, well, eventually he will just have to pounce on the 1 kill, and sure, it stops the bomb plant, but what else could he have done there? There were still 4 more players, and, well, Hades was even ready for a quick swing, which could have been a bit dangerous. He was sitting on half health, to be fair.
It does just feel like Fate are pulling off the miracle rounds, but the basics are not there here on Train whatsoever. Unless they really dial it up a notch on the T side, this is going to get ugly very quickly indeed. Fate, though, at least able to bring out that AWP again. This time with armor, diffuse kit utility behind it, and it's going to be Shake to find the opening pick. Hades was looking to deny that AWP as soon as it was brought up, but this time the Fate AWPer will get better. His opposing man. The man down. Haven't seen Wisla in these situations too often. See what they can get done with it. Rocking, he's thinking about this upper aggression again. It's a crossfire. Traditionally, you'd see an AWP towards the back of upper with Rocking playing this close angle by the ladder. Instead, Nikki will support from lower. Smoke deep onto the ramp to try and buy a little bit of time, and this is starting to be all about the timings now for the CT side. They've already committed a second man to the rotation. Wisla setting something up over towards drop. It looks like some preset nades to try and flush the man out. Nothing going to stick, though, and it is just going to be this straight B-site execute. The crossfire is now established. Wisla, they are walking right into this trap. A third player even rotated in the form of Milky. This is going to be so difficult to break open. Flashes and smokes over the top, and now it's all on Rocking. He gets aggressive, and it doesn't land. Milky with the MP9 on site. The next problem for this Wisla side, but Jedka catches the perfect timing, and again, it just looks all too easy. Jedka on the flank gets another before he's traded. And somehow Fate have found themselves once more a man down. The aggression from Sparrow just locking them out of this site. Too many angles, not enough time, and even Shake on that AWP can do nothing about it. It's double digits. It's 10 for Wisla. And Fate, I mean, I'm looking for silver linings, but they are in need of an absolute miracle here.
Yeah, as you said, it just looks so easy. They just walk in and take all of the entries, despite there being 3 players pretty much set up. I even wasn't against the setup, having the AUG up close on Heaven, so you had the capability for the 1-taps towards the heads, but no, Rockin' is just immediately taken out. And it's just crumbling for Fate. It's looking like we're going to have an incredibly quick 2-0 from Wisla, unless Fate are able to just pretty much hit a whole new level of form within these next couple of rounds to turn it around.
I mean, you're looking for something special, aren't you? What a time it would be for someone like Milky, like Shake, like these new boys to show up to the server. Obviously, this round feels like it's a done deal already, but the pistols, they can do work. We've seen it before from this Fate side. Their second round was a little bit of a miraculous one with the pistols, and aggression is coming through. They're flooding these brown holes. Milky will find one punch check there, at least for the initial trade, but it works out in favor of the CT side. 2 AK-47 salvage. The bomb is actually in the white halls as well, and I think Wisla are slightly conscious that they might have pushed clean on through. Sparrow will go and recover that. Now it's just a matter of their game sense. There's one player in towards Old Bomb, one in backtrack starting to peek through. If Goofy can find a couple of frags there, that should be all done. He's able to get at least one, and there's Hades again to back him up right as the peek looks to come through. I mean, what more can you do? Shake should be able to at least get the drop on Hades, and will do so. So 2-on-2, AWP and AK recovered for the CT side. Maybe they can make something of this.
Oh, damn. How the hell? I think he just got turned on. Goofy got destroyed by Shake, and, well, now it's all on Sparrow. This looks like it is going to be a round towards Fate, and Shake is the one to tank as he comes through with those 3 final kills from, well, a pretty awkward position as well, trapped in behind the green train. At this point, Wisla are getting a bit overconfident. You've got to, it hits that stage where you start making the mistakes because of the overconfidence that does finally let your opponent start coming back in. My question is, do they tighten that right back up now coming into this round? Because, I mean, think back to those earlier rounds. They were being so methodical. They had fantastic flashes and such for each other. At this point, they've kind of just started bursting out and just trying to hit headshots. And it's been working a bit as well. But they do want to ensure that they're not going to give these opportunities for Fate to get back into the game. And, well, Shake, whenever he's given a shoulder, he is apparently going to be capitalizing on it now, hitting those shots on the AWP, which is what we need. Very quickly calling for the rotation back over towards B for that op as well. So he's going to be there to help out Rockin, who unfortunately doesn't really have any nades. So they are likely going to have to try and catch another kill once that push starts coming in. As we can see anyway, that it is definitely going to be the B hit pretty much. There is the lurker though. Goofy from Ivy could be a big nuisance. I think he actually has even shown himself already. So this could keep some players around this A bomb site, and who knows, maybe even pull Shake back if he was able to actually have any success. But no, pretty much deny it and now sent back around.
Oh.
There we go. Ponchek just creeps down the ramp on his own. That's a unique approach. It works out though.
Now Shake again being locked out by this utility, aware that he's got to make the hero play at some point. They've got players covering the flank. The Molotov will give Milky's position away. He's going to burn as well, down to half HP. This bomb should very shortly be dialed in. Again, we're on 4 for Fate to try and make the retake stick, but no early picks. They're rotating in. It's a nice spray down from Patrick for the first. That bomb continues to tick on down. They do have a smoke for this. They could potentially try and stick a man on that defuse, but Wisla are giving them nothing. No peeks initially. Now they go. Jedka with the first onto Milky. They're pushed up close, but Patrick can't get the better of him. Jedka with 2 in quick succession, and Shake's trade starts to feel like it's all in vain. He's caught knife out, desperately trying to run onto that bomb, and it's Nikki doing the exact same now, looking for the stick, but it's not going to happen. Wisla with the denial, an 11th round on the board for them. And once again, Fate, I mean, we needed more from them on this CT side. 11 T-sided rounds for Wisla, and Jedka just absolutely locking it down here, making it look all too easy. The flick lightning fast, just punishing everything that comes his way.
Yeah, just looking on point. As you said, the speed he was flicking between those opponents, full confidence in the sprays as well. Yeah, everyone on Wisla is just popping off, and it is really showcasing itself in the scoreline at the moment. Shake, he wants this B aggression again. We've seen this from him once before. It was punished, but he didn't have a teammate also pushed up the ramp that time around. So this time he has the MP9 up close. I was going to say to try and take the initial attention, but no, only a dink came in. And then the op, unfortunately, is not able to connect any shots, sticking around with the aggression and going down, giving room for Wisla to set up out on B already, and well, pretty much deny that connector rotation as, yeah, despite Milky actually getting the trade on the Edgar, Ponchek was ready from upper with the op that he recovered off of Shake's body. So it is all onto one man. Nikki now to try and clutch out the 1-on-3 and to attempt to salvage this 4th round, which is very much needed. Oh, what an angle right there from Ponchek. Low health realized he needed the headshot and, well, makes it work. There it is, 12-3 at the half time. It is going to be incredibly difficult for Fate to turn this one around, but we're going to have to wait till after the break to find out, guys, so stick with us.
night an hour ago, so I am still awake. I've said I love you so many times, but the meaning is starting to fade. You and I are past our prime, but I don't wanna let go today. So I'll put on a smile, push feelings aside, bite my tongue and pretend we're okay. The feeling just can't seem to go away. 'Cause I'm too in love with love to let go of you. I'm overwhelmed by the smell of your graceful touch. My mind and my heart tear each other apart when they're supposed to work together. No, I'm too in love with love to let go of you.
Welcome back, everyone. Of course, a very rough first half rather coming in for Fate, only able to achieve 3 round wins, and all of those rounds being incredibly isolated. It was the first round, they were able to then take the 9th round, and I believe they added one more immediately after that, actually, before, falling flat once again. 12-3 at the halftime. Is the Fate still there for the turnaround to happen, is my question, Wolfie. Do you believe? Can this possibly happen, or is it just completely out of the realm of possibility right now?
I mean, I have a job obligation to try and believe, don't I? I think as a casual viewer, you're going to be saying this is done already. 12-3 on the half. Wisla just looking utterly dominant on their T side. I think Fate, I mean, they're in need of nothing short of a miracle, right? Coming onto this T-side pistol, good utility picked up, couple of smokes, 3 flashbangs. I think set executes is probably going to be the way to go as well, because in terms of just raw firepower, Wisla have been outdoing them at every turn. So they're going to go quickly, try and get up in their faces. Early Ivy control does net an initial frag, and the trades are advantageous for now. Hades trying to tap onto these heads. He's not quite connecting, though, and backtracks has been given away. Goofy there to bail his teammate out and wants to keep hunting this one down as well. Straight through into the Ivy control, and the bomb is having to hightail it out of here. Shake is going to be piled under pressure. Goofy round the corner. How does he land that? Jumping through it. And that's bombed down. Surely not. Surely this isn't how it goes down.
That one's a little bit of a tilter. Yeah, they know the push is already coming in behind an Ivy as well, I believe. They have the flank ready to come in through Connector. And, well, Goofy, when he's grounded, apparently those shots are even easier. Comes through with another 2 to bring it up to 4 in total from Goofy in that pistol round to turn things around from what had been some pretty good initial entries, as you pointed out, while they were moving up through Ivy. It was only the 1, I believe, from Yedgar. Yeah, it starts off so well, but it just crumbles. They hit a brick wall as they try and cross the old bomb train, pretty much. And obviously, yeah, Goofy. I mean, what can you do when Goofy's jumping around corners, hitting you with shots like that? That's just kind of a quick summary of how the game has been so far, if you were to bring it down into just 1 kill.
Yeah, it just screams confidence, doesn't it? It's just Goofy going, oh, I'm going to land this shot. It'll be fine. And then jumps around a corner into Ivy. It really is just compounding pain on misery. And the Fate, again, picking up the util, going for the force buy despite that bomb plant, but the early flank, the lurk is already gone from this situation. And look at the stack. 3 players here, the MP9 on the tight angle, the resmoke to force them through it and straight into the jaws. It's awkward. He will only trade 1 for 1, but that's what the FAMAS is here for. And it's actually Hades to nab away a couple right at the death to make it even worse. No bomb plants, no nothing. The force buy does not land. And, well, Fate are 2 rounds away from another 0-2. And this one, they've got to force it almost, but it's just going to be Deagles and utility.
Yeah, I mean, I can understand it. Do you force here and then probably have a similar force buy in the next round, or do you eco, try and get the guns out, and then obviously at that point have to pull back 12 rounds in a row? Both of them seem just as daunting, so I'm always behind whatever decision the team makes at this point, because it's just personal choice, really. Unfortunately, this one's going just about as well as the previous force buy did. Goofy already with 2 kills over towards Ivy, utilizing the AUG range incredibly well, and, well, Yedgar's also gotten a kill. Where was that? Where's Yedgar position right now? 1. Oh, he's around was that the wall bang above Pop Dog? Because I did see it was the wall bang, so I was wondering. He may be given another chance in main anyway against Shake.
Yeah, I think he will bang the man into main, actually, and he's looking for another one here on that tight angle. He's going to take out Shake, and yeah, Patrick lost alive. Desperately trying to bait whatever he can out of this situation. Will find the MP9, but takes a dink for his trouble. With 4 players left on the server, it's never going to happen. 15-3. It is time for that last roll of the dice. Looking for the lucky double sixes. Our fate. 15-3 down. Match point for Wisla Krakow. And again, this buy is not going to be pretty. The Deagles have come out early. Patrick will get his hands on an AK-47. Milky will have a Galil, but besides that, it's just the pistols. Utility is going to have to be king. They need a flat execute. They need to take some of this vision away, because look at the buy for Wisla. 4 rifles. Goofy on the scoped AUG for range. Sparrow on the AWP. Not even bothering to put Hades on it, and it's not even needed. Goofy and Sparrow, 2 opening picks. A tag onto the third. That nade should dunk finish the job. It does indeed. Sparrow gets the frag. I mean, Milky and Shake, you boys, what do you do? It's a lovely pot flash out for 1, but the trade is immediate. Shake is left all alone once more. The Deagle's not connecting. It's done before it's even really started. 16-3 in favor of Wisla Krakow. And I mean, that is going to be one hell of a game to analyze in a sec, because it was just brutal. There was nothing to it.
Yeah, I would totally agree with you. That was a nightmare situation for Fate there on their CT side. You know, I had like this tiny little glimmer of hope. They got that pistol, and then it was the classic. You know, I remember from even playing a bit of train, I used to pick it in a few of my teams. If you get reset on that second round, it's a nightmare. It's like you can never get money control back again, and you need your util, you need your AWPs on that CT side of train to actually start to get rolling and make something happen, and they just couldn't make anything happen there, Wolfie.
Yeah, I mean, it was just a brutal performance. I think it was almost exactly what we said, right? You can look at the stats, you can look at the numbers, but Wisla have the confidence and Fate do not. There were so many situations there where Wisla just swung into a peak and Fate had it locked down. They were holding the angle. It should empirically have been their frag. And something crazy happened. I mean, we saw it in that second half pistol. That's the first that comes to mind, right? Goofy jumping, spinning round a corner, still hitting the headshot, but it happened time and time again. The AWPs were being denied their angles. There was moments where you thought maybe Fate would get something done, but I just don't think there was any confidence in their strategies as that first half of Train unfolded.
Yeah, and on the other side of the coin, I mean, Wisla pretty confident in that T side of Train there, right, Dean? I mean, I saw a fair amount of some pretty good plays. Like you had Goofy on the lurk over there towards Ivy, smoking into CT Con on those inners hits. There was a lot of cool strats to that T side apart from just the firepower, right?
Yeah, no, especially in the earlier moments of their T side, we've seen them being pretty methodical. They were using those nades fantastically. They had a good read on pulling rotations and then managing to catch those players while rotating and even just punishing every single bit of aggression that Fate tried to throw at them. It did eventually kind of just hit a point though where Wisla were like, we can probably ease down on this a little bit, lads. We're running into them directly and they're just not hitting any shots on us. That was the biggest issue. As Wolfie was saying, you'd have stacks and everything in place. Wisla would just walk into them and barely even suffer any damage. It just wasn't a good day for Fate. They did not show up at all.
Yeah, it's unfortunate, but it happens. Bit of a rough season, bit of a rough match as well for Fate, but now their focus sort of shifts to avoiding being relegated. I mean, they were in that relegation match last season. They did manage to survive that. Now changing up their roster hasn't unfortunately found the success they were looking for there, Wolfie. So we'll see if they can potentially turn that around. Let's take a look at the schedule though. Have a look at some of the other games that were unfolding and are continuing to unfold here. Obviously, we do have the game we just watched there at the top of your screen. And right under that, Wolfie, that was kind of my pick for the match of the day, to be honest. It is 1-1 at the moment, and the first match was pretty one-sided there. What are you thinking about that Saw win strike? That's a two of the teams up near the top of the table, right?
Yeah, I mean, they're two of the big teams in these matchups, and it looks like a Vertigo third map, so I mean, that is going to be frag central. But, I mean, I look at that and my eyes immediately go to Fours, taking HR 2-0. That is huge. Fours have been so inconsistent of late, and to take out a CIS team like that is really big. I'm immediately shocked by that.
Yeah, I would agree with that. Four's obviously struggling to find their feet with a couple of new roster changes, and maybe that's the turnaround that they need. Do you think that's a realistic possibility there, Dean? I mean, I think they were only down 0-2 or something, haven't even played that many matches yet, so do you think they can sort of try to make their way back into playoffs?
Yeah, no, the fours haven't quite hit the position, of course, that we're seeing from Fate now, where they're just kind of fighting for to stay alive. They do need to turn things around a little bit more drastically, but they can definitely get back into things. What's surprising me here is I actually just had a look on HLTV as well, is the loss that Sprout suffered to Sangal. Not that Sangal are bad by any means, but they were one of the teams that I was pointing out when you asked me to highlight a player. Obviously, I highlighted Slacks. And yeah, they just got stumped on Inferno 16-7. So that's actually the one that's probably standing out the most to me.
That's classic Sprout, though, isn't it? You know, just showcase superb tactics and some amazing firepower, absolutely stomp all over some other teams. And then simultaneously in the next map following, just kind of, well, I can't think of a broadcast-friendly term for it. Anyway, what is broadcast-friendly is the beautiful website that we have, esl.gg/ESEA Premier. Go over there to find all of the upcoming matches that you do have coming up in all different regions. I even seen some OS matches on there, which are, you know, if you ever feel like torturing yourself, you can go watch a bit of OCCS. I do recommend it. It's a good time. It's a great laugh. There's also, you know, format breakdowns. You do have prize money and all that kind of beautiful stuff. So not too bad of a website to get a bit of your info fix. And obviously, some of the upcoming matches that we will have on there is the B stream, which I believe is tomorrow. You guys want to tell me a little bit more about that there, Wolfie?
Yeah, so it's going to be me and Dean again on the B stream. We're going to be bringing you both sets casted for the next 3 weeks. So you are going to have to get used to our voices. Not sure. I think we've got LDLC packed on there tomorrow, I want to say, but I'm not 100% certain on that. I'll let Dean fill me in on the gaps. But no matter what it is, we'll bring the hype. It's going to be an awesome stream again. And yeah, just looking forward. It's going to be a great 3 weeks just grinding these out.
Yeah, looking forward to it as well, Dean.
Yeah, no, I'm excited. I get to do the production as well, so that's always a little bit of extra fun on top of it. Yeah, no, I was trying to fill in the gap as well on which game exactly we're on, but I'm not 100% sure yet either. That'd be the thing I would have been checking when we finish up here to prepare, obviously. But yeah, no, I'm looking forward to a lot more MDL action, and I'm looking forward to hopefully some more competitive games, because obviously this one, we didn't expect a lot from it. We didn't get a lot, and I'm just hoping also for Fate that they'll be able to turn things around as the season goes on. Even if it's getting to a point where salvaging their actual position and Premier might be difficult, it's still a chance for them to learn a lot. So I'm hoping that they can use these games well.
All right, well, tomorrow it will be LDLC and attacks that you guys are covering. So I'm sure that will be quite a nice game for you guys to be looking forward to. However, at least for today, for the EU portion of the broadcast, we are all done and dusted here. Tune in a little while for the NA broadcast, and at least for now, we will bid you adieu.